Fast forward, you know our channel so how AG politics are winning. Podcast or training because making headlines. And a jump right now it be Akroma or ha and it be home braxim say and it can yam share so bit subscribe to the channel. It notification bell so share na fear for front so and sa into me and be and it be home braxim best rock say unya young ko ying sim. Na ye ko ying sim and that fa a year basabasayo a course so a widim na MP or what I am potem ho a year Asutifi North MP. And I mean, say a year IGP at me a instruct a CID box say or inviting for investigations based on the entrap a year namus for call say or mokako di mujuma a dear bo ensue in sase in a japadi humbino. Papa is allegedly say or shas here a shanko fubi in kutu pa. Omo eti egu so just for you so se nyame amfafia nka me no kasenka omo atwa na mo nsiedo demo wansimi.
He survived clearly by the mercy of God, because if we look at the intensity of the anger and how that they were very much charged, he and the rest of the team would have lost their lives. That is the plainest way to put it. And so we are wondering, the question that for me as an individual has been on my mind is, why would the youth, the young people in that particular enclave, protest against the military NIMOS coming around to, as it were, end illegal mining in that particular area? But what we have also discovered, and what is currently being investigated, is that it appears there are certain individuals who actually are the masterminds behind it. Otherwise, I mean, Aisha, let's try to rationalize this. If a NIMOS task force has come to an area, in fact, that was not even their primary destination. They were on their way back to Accra, and then they saw the mining, happening along the road. Then they decided to stop, intercept the process, and then end it. Why should this be a cause of agitation? What we are learning, although inconclusive, is that apparently there are certain kingpins who are sponsoring this, and so investigations have commenced accordingly, and in due time we'll be able to identify the persons who actually instigated and facilitated this very risky and fatal development. Clearly, from what happened yesterday, the briefing that I received from the Director of Operations of NIMOS, it is abundantly clear that if we are going to deal with illegal mining and do away with some of these developments, the locals must be sensitized, number one, and especially not just the locals by way of the residents, but the local authorities must also up their game.
Sparkwesi Shandoff speaking there, and we know, I mentioned that the Bureau of Public Safety has been issuing a statement, and we'll speak to Nanayo Akwada, but we just want to walk you through quick pointers in relation to what it is they've been demanding of authorities, and then we can go to them with the latest in terms of development as we've got from the Ghana Police Service as well. And so of the many things they were demanding, as of this morning, it included the immediate arrest and interrogation of the MP alleged to have been involved in this full-scale investigation by the Ghana Police Service with support from the Ghana Armed Forces, and also protective measures for NIMOS officers, soldiers and witnesses, parliamentary inquiry to determine disciplinary or criminal sanctions if the MP is found to have interfered with law enforcement operations, strengthening of operational security protocols for all anti-illegal mining task force. And so this is the demand from NIMOS. We've seen that statement that's come through from the Ghana Police Service, which says that the headquarters of the CID has been tasked to take over this investigation and look into the matter. As well, the Member of Parliament who has been named in this particular subject matter, we understand, has been invited by the Ghana Police Service to assist in investigations. Let's take this to Dr. Nanayo Akwada quickly for a bit of a conversation. Mr. Akwada, I appreciate you speaking to us and joining us this afternoon as well. So we've just got that release as well from the police, which says that of the many things, the headquarters of the CID has taken over investigations. They provide a brief background as to what happened as well. But most importantly, the MP alleged to have incited all of this has been invited to assist with investigations. That suffices in terms of the immediate first steps which should be carried out in beginning to unravel what really played out over the weekend.
Good afternoon to your viewers. I would like to, before I comment on that, I would like to commend, the district police station and the district police director for a great, demonstration of policing. I mean, I watched the footage, and anyone who watches the footage could actually feel the intensity of the crowd and then the charged atmosphere. But I think that the way the police team, navigated this course and averted, a potential, bloodshed is worthy of commendation. And when the dust is settled, I will be expecting the police department to, recognize these police officers who did such a great protective job. And also, I want to commend the military and the NIMOS members involved in this unfortunate incident. I think that the whole of Ghana does off its heart for them. They are doing a great job. The fact that they had to do, take a detour to complete a very important task like this shows how determined and dedicated they are. And I think that this morning I am confident that, their efforts will pay off, and they need our support to make these efforts actually pay off. Now, the action of the Ghana Police Service, inviting the MP for questioning suffices for me. But I think that from per the story, some people have been released. I am thinking that the national security should get involved, locate all these persons. My understanding, my intelligence points to a non-citizen involved in this. Locate all of these people with immediate effect and bring them, into its bosom for prosecution. What happened on Saturday is shameful, it's most regrettable, it's very dangerous. It could have resulted in a lot of loss of lives of people. And also, it is a test of our resolve to ensure that Galamsey is rooted out from our body politics, as soon as possible.
Right.
And so this incident provides us with that opportunity to prove how serious we are about Galamsey, to prove that we are not going to let anyone off the hook, regardless of their status in society. And which is why I think that within the next few hours, this MP should be in the bosom of the police for investigation. And if it requires that they get permission or authorization from, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament to keep this MP in the bosom of the law enforcement agencies for investigations, that must be done. We must not let anyone off the hook. Consistent with the broken windows theory, this must not be ignored. And as a Bureau of Public Safety, what we have been saying time and again is that if we allow Galamsey to linger on, very soon it's going to be an armed group. We are going to have to deal with them like a terror group, and it's going to be more difficult. So this is the opportunity for us as a nation to descend heavily on persons who are, behind the windows, encouraging young men, youth to go into this area, and that they use their status as a shield for persons who are dealing a very devastating blow to our environment, increasing our health, our death burden on health as a state, and also destroying the livelihoods of people. So this must not be ignored. And all 5 of our demands that we have made, we expect that it will be, acceded to as soon as possible. We must not only do justice, but justice must be swift. We must be swift so that the word will go out there that, look, we are serious about this fight, and we are not going to let anyone off the hook, no matter your status in society.
And I hear you on the swift action. There are foreign elements which, for a while, we've known have had a hand in terms of the activities of illegal mining, which continues to plague the state. To the extent that from the report, it suggests that this foreign element could have been part of the reason for the inciting of the crowd, amongst many other things. We haven't got word from the police in this release that anybody has been picked up outside of the fact that the NIMOS team was protected and taken away. The individuals who were arrested by the NIMOS team, even which resulted in the incitement of the people as well. We haven't got word of them being picked up again. Should we be getting updates on that front, even as the MP is being invited and other respective persons within the development as has happened in the last few hours?
Absolutely. Absolutely, which is why I have said that, look, we must escalate this to the level of national security so that nobody, gets out of our borders. We get everybody roped in. If it means within the next 24 hours publishing the images of these individuals as wanted persons so that the public could assist in bringing all these perpetrators to book. Look, it's a serious issue we are dealing with. If you watch the video, that the footage circulating, and you don't get the import of how serious this thing is, then I'm sorry for our country. The next incident that gets closer to this is going to be a bloodshed, and that is when these guys will begin to arm to the teeth. Okay? We don't want persons who are applying in Galamsey to arm themselves in this manner. So we must send the signal there strongly. Let us publish the images of these influential persons, publish the images of the members or the leaders of these youth who, helped in, intervening or stopping law enforcement agencies from carrying out their lawful duties, just as it was done in the January 6th riot in the USA. The FBI went out there using the footage, publishing images of individuals who were participants of these of such actions, and then they brought them to book one by one, and swiftly so. We must do that and make sure that as we do it, we are keeping the public updated. We have arrested the 10th person, we have arrested the 11th person, we have arrested the 30th person, so that the signal is out there that you cannot hide behind mobs to be doing some of these things, and that we are serious as a nation about rooting out Galamsey. And I think that if we approach it in this manner and we do this swiftly, the key word is swiftly, we do this swiftly, we will send the signal out there.
And I appreciate the mention. I appreciate the mention of swiftly, considering how everything has played out. Is there an acceptable timeline or time frame through which we should be getting updates from the police with respect to this? And also the silence of NIMOS, some say, is concerning. They should have been providing updates as well on the back of the development vis-a-vis the ongoing updates from the police.
Look, I have, number one, I think that swiftly, within 24 hours to 36 hours, the police should be putting out images of wanted persons out there. We need them to do that for both substance and form. We need them to do this so that people will assist them. And then secondly, for NIMOS, I mean, listening to what happened on Saturday, I am very confident in NIMOS. And I think that by now they are doing, a post-mortem analysis of whatever happened. And they will re-strategize and retool and change their modus operandi. I mean, when they get into such escalations, they will know what to do. But my brother, we must commend the NIMOS officers and the police for doing a great job. Elsewhere, they would have deployed firepower, and it would have been bad news this morning. So we must commend them, especially for us as a Bureau of Public Safety, where we have always descended heavily on the police. I think that the work they did last Saturday was really, really to international level. It was really a class act that we need to identify the district commander and everyone involved in making sure that they gave the NIMOS officers a safe pass without a single shred of assault on a citizen.
I appreciate you providing these thoughts for us. That's Nana Akwada speaking to us this afternoon on the latest. The police says investigations underway. They are inviting the Member of Parliament at the center of this to assist with investigations, and most certainly will follow up and bring details.
Well, in the meantime, rice farmers in Somanya in the eastern region say the influx of foreign rice is undercutting their sales and making their business less competitive. They made this known when members of Parliament on the Environment, Science and Technology Committee, together with the Climate Change Caucus, visited some farms to learn firsthand the impact of climate change on their production.
In domestic rice production, Ghana spends more than $500 million annually on rice imports. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Grain and Feed Annual 2025 report projects that Ghana's rice import will reach 1 million metric tons in the 2025-2026 season, covering more than half of national demand. Currently, thousands of metric tons of paddy and milled rice remain unsold in storehouses across rice-growing regions from the 2024 season. Farmers are also unable to harvest this season's crop due to a lack of funds to rent harvesters, leaving several acres of rice still standing in the fields. This is the trouble of rice farmers in Adelakope in Somanya.
The situation here is the same. It is our customers that delayed, and our whole thing also gone delayed. So as I harvested now, no buyer, and I can't get enough money. It means I'm not able to do it this season.
That is.
Well, Charles Nyaba is a farmer and is the spokesperson for the rice producers, rice millers and maize farmers of Ghana. He's also the immediate past executive director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. Doc, good afternoon to you. I appreciate your time with us. This is a situation that has existed for a long time now. The competition, foreign rice, unfair competition, so to speak, that foreign rice gives local production. Why have we failed to nip it in the bud?
Thanks so much, and then let me also thank you and your team. I think we've been in this battle together for a very long time. I think that either should I say government or government appointees' failure to always implement what they say is what brought us where we are today. Why would we even import rice when farmers are given assurance that they have capacity to produce to meet the gap of what we import? Simply because some few people, should I put it a greedy people, if it's a harsh language, a greedy people don't want the system to work for farmers to be able to produce enough to feed this country. Last year, per what Ghana plan document stated that we were able to produce 1.3 million metric tons of rice. Meanwhile, the domestic consumption is 1.4 million metric tons of rice. So it means it's even less than 100,000 metric tons. The same document projected that this year, the local production is expected to hit 1.5 metric tons. So which means that we would have actually met me to meet that. But if the same government now allow people without proper importation document to bring in this rice through illegal borders, and some of the rice that they are actually bringing in, some are expired, they bring it in and they rebag it in the popular brand that we all know. Making it very difficult for the local farmers to be able to compete.
Well, so Doc, let's stick with the issue. Let's stick with the issue that directly concerns local production. In the immediate term, what can government do to clear off the glut we're seeing in Somanya? What are your recommendations?
So what we are recommending is that The rice is good, it's quality. Farmers are willing to sell at whatever price. But the problem is the flooding of the market with the imported ones. So we are saying that during this festive season, every household in Ghana consume at least some amount of rice. So why don't government quickly come in, ensure that we block in the rice that are coming in, those who are imported, legal importers, you increase the tax. Once you increase the tax and the price are par with the local rice, block in the expired rice that they are bringing through the illegal rice, we'll be able to sell. Within the next 6 months, we'll be able to clear the glut. In going forward, what government then need to do to assess our local capacity and then only allow the gap to be imported. Whilst doing that, we are also addressing the challenges, production challenges, processing challenges, marketing challenges, taste challenges. Once you do that over time, we might not actually need government intervention and will continue to be able to produce enough for this country.
We know that this year there has been directives to the buffer stock company to buy off some of these grains that are in season and do not have ready markets for sales. What has happened since that directive was given? What has been the working relationship between the buffer stock company and you, rice and other grain producers?
So I think that's where the other problem comes from. When we started this campaign, we heard from the government spokespersons, we heard from the National Food Buffer Stock that 100 million Ghana cedis was released for purchasing of rice and maize. There is no part of this country where we don't have members in. We try to inquire. Actually, I personally took data. No single member in our platform and farmer associations who are part of this campaign are able to confirm that in their community, they saw people coming to buy rice or maize from them. So we are calling them that if you say you release this much for people to come and buy, can you give us their contacts so that we also sell our rice to them? They've not been able to give contact of any aggregator that they claim they engage to come and buy the produce from us. So it's actually worrying. And this attitude has been going on for some time now, where government will say, okay, they've released this amount to do this. We will only get reports that this has been delivered. But when you come to the actual delivery, the actual purchasing and procurement, you have
we and some who team course watch channel so mamno so jimbre awara sene so badi no edia dumbi edomenia e be sanso mo kwanso ko supra shena so mami say hasi a GH Politics Avenue.